living alone in your later years can be an incredible journey of independence, peace, and self-discovery. Yet, it also comes with unique challenges that can sometimes feel overwhelming. Across various forums and social spaces, many have shared their thoughts on the realities of aging solo. These insights reveal that, with a little preparation and guidance, this stage of life can be not just manageable but deeply fulfilling. In today's video, I'll share essential advice on navigating the path of solo living as you age. These tips stem from both my personal experience and the wisdom of countless others who have embraced this journey. My hope is that this guide will provide comfort, helping you avoid common pitfalls and fully embrace the beauty of your own company with confidence and joy. Stay with me as we dive into the top things to avoid to make this chapter as rewarding as possible. And if you find this content helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights like these. Now, let's move on to the heart of today's discussion. Tip number 1. Avoid complete isolation. As we grow older and live independently, one of the most common challenges is the creeping risk of isolation. Many people discover that, without intending to, they've drifted away from regular connections with friends, family, and community. Days can blur together, turning into weeks without meaningful interactions beyond the necessities of daily life. This tendency can be subtle, yet over time, it can deeply affect both emotional health and overall well-being. To combat this, it's essential to actively create moments of connection. It might mean stepping out of your comfort zone or finding activities that bring you closer to others. Instead of simply resolving to see friends more often, set small, achievable goals, like calling a family member every weekend, joining a local class, or attending a community event each month. These consistent interactions, even small ones, can make all the difference. Consider a fresh approach to finding community. Instead of the usual social gatherings, seek spaces that align with your personal interests. For instance, a man I read about began attending a gardening club. He had always loved nature, and joining this group allowed him to enjoy a shared hobby while building new friendships. Over time, these connections grew, giving him both companionship and a sense of shared purpose. And remember, connection doesn't always require physical proximity. In today's digital world, social platforms can be incredible tools for maintaining relationships or even creating new ones. Virtual meetups, online book clubs, and discussion groups can provide an outlet for meaningful interactions. If you have loved ones who live far away, regular video calls or shared online activities can help bridge that gap. The key is to take the initiative before isolation becomes overwhelming. Even small steps, like joining a new activity or scheduling regular check-ins with friends, can keep loneliness. Tip number 2. Avoid neglecting your health. Living alone can make it easy to let health habits slide, without someone to remind us. Even basic routines like taking medication, scheduling doctor's appointments, or going outside for fresh air and exercise can get overlooked. A man I read about shared how he frequently put off visits to his doctor, always thinking he'd get to it next week, until one day. Months had flown by, and he found himself dealing with a more serious health issue because he hadn't maintained his regular checkups. His advice? Set reminders on your phone or mark dates on a calendar so important health tasks don't slip through the cracks. Creating a routine can be especially helpful. This could be as simple as a daily walk, a short stretching session each morning, or a dedicated time in the evening for a few minutes of mindfulness. Regular physical activity not only keeps the body active but can also greatly improve mood and energy levels. Mental well-being is just as crucial as physical health. Living alone can sometimes intensify feelings of loneliness or anxiety, which are easy to ignore when there's no one around to notice. Rather than suppressing these emotions, consider ways to release them constructively. Talking to a friend or family member can help lighten the load. And if you find yourself struggling with persistent negative feelings, speaking with a therapist could provide valuable support. One man I knew started journaling to process his thoughts. It allowed him to get in touch with his feelings and helped him feel more connected to himself. This personal practice became a way to recognize and work through his emotions, which in turn improved his overall health. Remember, taking care of yourself is a commitment. and small, consistent actions will make a big difference over time. Whether it's scheduling that overdue checkup, prioritizing a few minutes of self-care each day, or reaching out when you feel overwhelmed, every step matters in maintaining both your physical and emotional health. Tip number 3. Avoid overlook safety concerns. As we age and embrace independent living, the importance of safety becomes increasingly paramount. Many seniors tend to dismiss security worries, often thinking, "I've managed just fine for years." However, being proactive about safety can significantly reduce the risk of accidents or emergencies in the future. Consider the experience of an elderly woman who shared her story on a senior forum. She had a minor fall in her kitchen and found herself unable to reach her phone for hours. This frightening incident opened her eyes to the critical need for an emergency response system. She invested in a personal emergency alert device, giving her peace of mind that help is just a button away. This simple yet effective solution can empower you to feel secure in your home, knowing assistance is readily available if needed. To further enhance your safety, pay attention to your home's lighting. Ensure that all areas, especially staircases, hallways, and bathrooms, are well lit to minimize the risk of trips and falls. Adequate illumination not only helps you navigate safely but also creates a welcoming environment. Additionally, consider the benefits of installing security cameras or enlisting a trustworthy neighbor to check in on you regularly. This proactive approach can alleviate anxieties and foster a sense of community. Having someone looking out for you can make a world of difference, transforming the feeling of living alone into a more connected experience. The goal is to cultivate an environment where you feel secure and at ease within your own home, all while avoiding the trap of excessive worry. By taking these thoughtful precautions, you can enjoy your independence with greater confidence and peace of mind. Tip number 4. Avoid developing unhealthy habits. Living alone can be liberating, offering the freedom to make choices without the input or influence of others. However, this newfound autonomy can sometimes lead to the emergence of unhealthy habits that go unchecked. It's all too easy to slip into routines that may not serve our well-being, particularly when it comes to eating, exercising, and self-care. Imagine a woman who found herself alone after the passing of her husband. Initially, she relished the quiet moments in front of the television, but over time, this habit morphed into a cycle of mindless snacking. The absence of shared meals meant that she unconsciously turned to food for comfort, which, while satisfying in the moment, began to take a toll on her health. It wasn't until she faced the consequences, both physically and emotionally, that she realized the need for change. Breaking free from this cycle required deliberate action. She started planning her meals and prepping ingredients in advance, transforming her approach to food. This new structure didn't just enhance her diet, it brought a sense of purpose to her day. Cooking became not only a means of nourishment but also a creative outlet that sparked joy. Consider setting small, attainable goals for yourself. Instead of aiming for perfection, think about simple changes that can make a difference. Perhaps you can commit to cooking one nutritious meal a week or taking a short walk each day. Engaging in a new hobby that encourages movement, like gardening or dancing, can also be a wonderful way to stay active without it feeling like a chore. Remember, the key is to treat your body with the same care and compassion you would offer a dear friend. Acknowledge your needs, listen to your body, and find a balance that feels right for you. By fostering healthy habits and creating a routine that prioritizes your well-being, you'll cultivate a lifestyle that not only supports your physical health but also nourishes your spirit. Living alone doesn't have to mean living in isolation from good habits. Instead, embrace this time as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery, and take the steps necessary to ensure your freedom leads to a healthier, happier life. Tip number 5. Avoid letting your home become a burden. A spacious home can feel like a blessing when filled with the laughter and love of family. However, when you find yourself living alone, that same space can quickly transform from a sanctuary into a source of stress. Many seniors face the daunting challenge of maintaining a large house, and this responsibility can take a toll on both physical and mental well-being. Consider the story of a woman who, after her children moved out, found herself overwhelmed by the demands of her home. For years, she struggled to keep up with the maintenance, feeling a sense of guilt at the thought of downsizing. This house, filled with cherished memories, felt like an anchor weighing her down. However, through a journey of self-reflection, she came to understand that letting go did not mean losing her past, it meant embracing her future. Eventually, she made the courageous decision to move into a smaller, more manageable space. This change not only alleviated the burden of upkeep but also opened up new opportunities for freedom and comfort. With less to worry about, she discovered the joy of living simply, allowing her to focus on experiences rather than possessions. You don't need to downsize immediately if you're not ready. Instead, take a moment to evaluate your living situation. Ask yourself how much space you genuinely need and whether you can comfortably manage it. If staying in your current home is essential for you, consider hiring help for tasks that drain your energy, such as lawn care, cleaning, or home repairs. Bringing in a professional can lighten your load, making home maintenance less daunting and allowing you to enjoy your space more fully. Your home should be a haven, a place where you feel at ease and free from worry. It's important to cultivate an environment that supports your well-being rather than contributes to your stress. By making thoughtful choices about your living space, you can transform your home into a nurturing retreat that enhances your quality of life. Living alone can be an opportunity for renewal rather than a burden. Embrace this chance to create a home that reflects your current needs and desires, where you can thrive and find joy in every moment. Tip number 6. Avoid losing your sense of purpose. One of the most challenging aspects of living alone can be the risk of losing a sense of purpose. Especially after retirement or the loss of a life partner, many individuals find themselves expressing feelings of drifting through time, unsure of how to fill their days meaningfully. Yet, it's essential to recognize that your life continues to hold immense value, brimming with opportunities to learn, create, and contribute. Consider the journey of a retired woman who, after her husband passed away, felt adrift and unsure of her role. Initially, she filled her days with television and casual hobbies, but soon she realized that these activities left her feeling empty. One day, she decided to join a local painting class she had always been curious about. This simple decision reignited her passion for art, providing her with a creative outlet and a sense of community. As she honed her skills, she discovered not only a new hobby but also a renewed sense of purpose that enriched her life. Life is filled with endless possibilities waiting for you to explore. Just because you find yourself living alone doesn't mean you lack direction or purpose. Embrace this time as an opportunity to discover new passions, engage in meaningful activities, and connect with others. Whether it's taking a cooking class, volunteering at a local charity, or simply exploring nature, every new experience can breathe life into your days. Your journey is unique, and there's no right or wrong way to seek purpose. The key is to remain open to exploration and embrace the idea that every moment holds potential. You have the power to create a life that's rich with meaning. Reminding yourself that the pursuit of passion is a lifelong adventure. Tip number 7. Avoid the feeling that you have to do everything alone. One of the most common traps that individuals face when living alone is the belief that they must shoulder every responsibility on their own. It's easy to fall into the mindset that independence means doing everything yourself. But this can lead to unnecessary stress and isolation. In reality, seeking help is not only acceptable, it's essential for a fulfilling life. Imagine the story of a woman named Helen, who, after retiring and losing her partner, found herself overwhelmed by the tasks of maintaining her home and daily life. At first, she resisted asking her adult children for assistance, convinced that accepting help would undermine her independence. However, as the weeks passed, she realized that managing everything alone was taking a toll on her mental well-being. One day, after a particularly exhausting week, she decided to reach out to her son and daughter, inviting them over for dinner. To her surprise, they were eager to help not just with the meal but also with the household chores she had been struggling with. That simple gesture of asking for support transformed her life. It didn't just lighten her load, it deepened her connections with her children, reminding her that family ties could be a source of strength rather than a burden. Helen soon learned that asking for help, whether it was grocery shopping assistance from a neighbor, scheduling regular visits from family, or even hiring a maintenance service, allowed her to reclaim her time and enjoy her life more fully. Her home became a sanctuary again, filled with laughter and shared moments instead of a checklist of chores. Living alone doesn't mean you have to navigate life without a support system. Strength can be found in community. Whether it's through close friends, family, or neighbors, embrace the idea that it's okay to lean on others when needed. Doing so enriches your experience and allows you to focus on what truly matters. Don't hesitate to seek assistance when necessary. It doesn't diminish your independence, but rather enhances your quality of life. Remember, reaching out for help can create a network of support that makes every day brighter and more manageable. You're not alone in this journey. Allow others to walk alongside you. Tip number 8. Avoid neglecting your living environment. Living alone offers the unique opportunity to create a space that truly reflects your personality and preferences. However, it can be all too easy for clutter to accumulate when there's no one around to hold you accountable. Over time, what might start as a simple disorganization can evolve into a source of stress and even pose safety hazards in your home. Consider the story of Mary, a retired teacher who had always prided herself on her tidy living space. After the passing of her husband, she found herself grappling with grief and loneliness. Slowly, she began to neglect her home. The books that once lined her shelves began to pile up. The dishes stacked high in the sink, and unfinished projects littered the living room. It wasn't until a close friend paid her a visit that Mary truly recognized the impact her surroundings had on her well-being. As her friend stepped into the house, she noticed the disarray and immediately offered to help Mary organize. Together, they tackled the chaos, starting with one room at a time. During the process, Mary was struck by how much lighter she felt as the clutter began to dissipate. She realized that her living environment was closely intertwined with her mental state. A tidy space fostered a sense of clarity and peace. You don't need to undertake a massive overhaul all at once. Instead, consider incorporating small, manageable tasks into your daily routine. For instance, dedicating just 10 minutes each day to tidying up can lead to significant improvements over time. Focus on keeping high-traffic areas clear, like hallways and countertops, and ensure essential items like your phone, glasses, or keys are always easily accessible. By maintaining a clean and organized environment, you not only enhance your safety but also create a calming atmosphere that supports a peaceful mind. A well-kept home can transform your mood, making it easier to embrace each day with renewed energy and purpose. Remember, your living space is a reflection of your inner state. Cultivating a welcoming environment can have profound effects on how you feel daily. Take pride in your space and invest a little time in its upkeep. The rewards will be well worth the effort. Tip number 9. Avoid losing track of time. Living alone, especially during retirement, can sometimes blur the lines between days, leaving you questioning whether it's Monday or Thursday. This disorientation can lead to feelings of aimlessness and, in some cases, even depression. Many people have shared their strategies on forums for maintaining a sense of structure in their daily lives. Take the example of John, a retired engineer who found himself grappling with this very issue. In the early days of his retirement, he often lost track of time, with his days slipping away in a haze of television and mindless web browsing. It wasn't until he felt a deep sense of emptiness that he decided to make a change. To reclaim his time, John crafted a daily and weekly routine that became essential to his well-being. He designated certain days for grocery shopping, committed to morning walks in the park, and set aside evenings for exploring new recipes he had always wanted to try. This newfound structure helped him establish a rhythm, as waking up and eating at the same time each day provided him with a sense of order and purpose. John also discovered the power of planning. He began using a planner to outline his weekly activities and personal goals. This practice not only alleviated his feelings of uncertainty but also injected excitement into his days, as he eagerly anticipated walks with friends or the thrill of experimenting with a new dish. Creating habits can help you regain a sense of stability. Even small adjustments, like setting aside specific times for reading, exercising, or pursuing hobbies, can transform your days into something meaningful. Consider setting reminders or alarms to keep you on track, ensuring that you stay engaged with your routine. Ultimately, embracing a structured approach to your days doesn't mean sacrificing spontaneity. Instead, it allows you to build a fulfilling and intentional life. As you create routines that resonate with you, you'll find that time becomes less of a blur and more of a canvas for your daily experiences. Remember, every day is an opportunity waiting to be seized. By organizing your time, you can craft a life rich with purpose and anticipation, making the most of each moment. Tip number 10. Avoid holding onto items for sentimental reasons. While sentimental items can evoke warmth and nostalgia, clinging to too many can clutter your space and weigh you down. Striking a delicate balance between cherishing memories and allowing material possessions to overwhelm you is essential for a harmonious living environment. Consider the journey of Maria, a woman in her 70s who struggled to declutter her home after losing her husband. Each item, shirts, tools, and papers, held precious memories, making it hard for her to let go. However, with her children's support, she began reassessing each piece, asking, "Does this still serve a purpose in my life?" As she reflected on the memories attached to her belongings, Maria realized that keeping everything was holding her back. Ultimately, she chose to keep only a few significant items, like her husband's favorite shirts and cherished photographs. This decision was liberating for her, allowing her to make space for new memories. It felt like shedding a heavy coat, she said, acknowledging that letting go helped her honor the past while embracing the future. Decluttering transformed not only her living space but also her emotional well-being. This experience highlighted an important truth: while it's perfectly fine to hold onto items with sentimental value, it's equally important to recognize when it's time to let go. Capturing memories through photographs can preserve the essence of the past without the burden of physical items. Furthermore, passing down belongings to loved ones can offer them a chance to cherish those memories in their own way. Approaching decluttering as a process of liberation rather than loss can shift your perspective. By evaluating your possessions thoughtfully, you can create a space that reflects your present life and aspirations, rather than a shrine to the past. Ultimately, embracing this mindset can empower you to regain control over your living environment and enhance your overall well-being. In doing so, you not only honor your past but also make way for new experiences and connections, enriching your life moving forward. Tip number 11. Don't neglect emergency preparedness. One of the most critical oversights when living alone, especially in later years, is the lack of adequate preparation for emergencies. Whether facing a power outage, a medical crisis, or natural disasters, being prepared is essential, particularly when you don't have someone else to share the burden with. Take the story of Richard, a retired firefighter in his 60s, who experienced a shocking wake-up call during an unexpected snowstorm. As the storm raged outside, he was caught off guard when the power went out, leaving him in darkness for several days. Although he had a pantry stocked with food, he had neglected to charge his phone or gather any backup lighting. Isolated and unable to reach out for help, Richard felt vulnerable and frightened. Following this ordeal, Richard recognized the importance of being proactive. He decided to invest in a mobile phone charger, a comprehensive emergency kit, and several battery-operated lanterns. He also dedicated time to prepare for various emergency scenarios, creating a robust action plan for future crises. It's essential to ensure that you have an accessible list of emergency contacts, including neighbors, family members, and local services. Your emergency kit should contain non-perishable food, clean water, medications, and first aid supplies. Having a reliable flashlight, extra batteries, and a battery-operated radio can also make a significant difference during power outages. Additionally, if you live in an area prone to severe weather, it's wise to stockpile essential items and familiarize yourself with evacuation procedures and safe shelters in your community. Understanding where to go and what to do in an emergency can alleviate stress and increase your sense of security. Remember, being prepared doesn't have to be daunting. By taking small, manageable steps, you can create a safety net that not only protects you but also empowers you. Embracing a proactive mindset ensures that you are ready to face whatever challenges life may throw your way, fostering a greater sense of independence and confidence as you navigate your daily life. Tip number 12. Avoid financial disorganization. As we age, one of the challenges that can creep up on us is the mismanagement of our finances. Without proper oversight, it's all too easy for paperwork to pile up, bills to go unpaid, and bank accounts to fall into disarray. This risk amplifies when there are fewer people around to help keep us accountable. Consider the experience of Clara, a vibrant woman in her 70s who had always relied on her late husband to manage their financial affairs. After he passed away, she suddenly found herself overwhelmed with unfamiliar tasks. Bills piled up on her kitchen table, and she lost track of various subscription services, resulting in unwanted charges on her bank statements. It wasn't until she received a notice from a service provider that she realized she was paying for multiple services she no longer used. Feeling adrift in a sea of financial confusion, Clara decided it was time to take control. She reached out to her daughter for help, and together they tackled the chaos. They started by creating a simple, organized filing system for all important documents, separating them into categories like bills, bank statements, and subscriptions. This newfound clarity made it easier for Clara to see exactly where her money was going. Additionally, they set up automatic payments for essential bills to ensure nothing slipped through the cracks again. Clara also made it a routine to review her bank statements monthly, which not only kept her informed but also gave her a sense of empowerment as she navigated her financial landscape. Clara's journey highlights the importance of establishing a system that works for you. Consider maintaining a dedicated financial planner, whether physical or digital, where you can track all your income, expenses, and upcoming payments. Having a clear visual can drastically reduce anxiety and promote a sense of control over your finances. It's also wise to have a trusted friend or family member check in periodically to help keep you accountable. Discussing finances can feel daunting, but a supportive partner can make the process less intimidating and more manageable. Ultimately, taking charge of your financial health is about creating a structure that minimizes stress and fosters independence. By proactively addressing financial disorganization, you can cultivate a sense of stability and confidence, ensuring that your golden years are as fulfilling and worry-free as possible. Living alone in your golden years can be a remarkable journey, filled with opportunities for self-discovery and personal freedom. However, navigating this new chapter requires a mindful approach to your health, safety, and overall happiness. It's essential to avoid feelings of isolation and to prioritize your well-being by addressing any health concerns and ensuring your environment is secure. Seeking assistance when needed is not a sign of weakness but rather a courageous step toward enhancing your quality of life. Embracing this phase of life can lead to profound fulfillment. Remember, you are not alone in this experience. Countless others are traversing similar paths, sharing the highs and lows of solitary living. This shared journey can foster a sense of community and connection, reminding us that independence does not have to mean isolation. Now is the time to thrive, engage with your passions, build meaningful relationships, and live purposefully. We invite you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below. If you find this video valuable, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss any of our upcoming content. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of life's possibilities.